Chrissy Lampkin's kid suddenly vanished into thin air. One minute she's a pleased mom. The next it's as if the child never existed, and Jim Jones is out here pointing fingers at the haters. Y'all, this is getting ridiculous, so let's break it down real fast, cause something just ain't adding up. How can a newborn infant just disappear overnight? Was this a setup? Kidnapping? Or is there something much deeper going on behind the scenes? And why is Jim Jones out here accusing people instead of digging for answers? Yeah, best believe we're diving all the way down. This one, from odd moves to shady family drama, is about to get dirty. Grab your popcorn because the tea is boiling hot, and you already know we have receipts. Chrissy Lampkin's baby has disappeared into the air, and Jim Jones, rather than being a concerned parent, is out here pointing fingers at the haters. Excuse me, what, sir? Your child is missing, and instead of contacting the police, you're worrying about social media. Something ain't right now. Let's dive into this chaotic timeline because believe me, the internet detectives are already working hard to piece everything together. First and foremost, let's not act like Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin have been the picture-perfect pair. You remember how long it took him to even propose to her? It was almost a decade of her waiting, asking, and suffering with his crap before he eventually handed her a ring. And to be honest, he wasn't exactly excited about it. We all witnessed how cautious he was about love and hip-hop. Fast forward to when Chrissy Lampkin first revealed she was pregnant and had a couple babies. The reactions were not what you'd expect for a couple that's been together forever. People were side-eyeing Jim Jones hard. Like, wait, wasn't he just stating he didn't want kids? And let's not forget, Mama Jones was not experiencing this pregnancy at all, even going so far as to wonder whether the baby was Jim's. And then bam, the DNA drama struck. And let me tell you, the internet was eating it up. It was a shambles. Jim Jones looked like he was going to pack his bags and run when those findings came back. And Chrissy Lampkin was over here in tears trying to convince everyone that it was meant to be a joyful moment, and just when we thought things were finally settling down, we wake up to this. The baby has vanished, and there has been no trace of him. Where things become extremely suspect, certain anonymous sources, and by anonymous, I mean individuals on Twitter who claim to have inside information, are alleging that something went down the night before the disappearance. Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin apparently had a massive dispute, which was so nasty that neighbors heard it through the walls. But here's the kicker. Shortly after that argument, boom, the baby's gone now. Kids don't just vanish. So what actually happened? Here, one wacky theory flying around is that Mama Jones could have had something to do with this. And I know it seems crazy, but let's not pretend she hasn't been meddling in Jim's life from day one. She never liked Chrissy Lampkin. She was never on board with this pregnancy. And let's be honest, if she could find a way get rid of this baby, would she? But wait, it gets more stranger because y'all, there are claims that Chrissy Lampkin was seen at a private medical facility only days before the baby disappeared. Now why is nobody talking about this? What was she doing there? Was it a normal checkup or anything more? Then we have Jim Jones' statement, and believe me when I say, it made no sense. Man gets on social media and says the haters got what they wanted. Sir, what, your baby is missing and that's your answer? No tears, no worry, no police intervention. Just some vag gibberish, haters. Here's where things take a nasty turn because guess what? There's no formal missing persons report, no police case, and no Amber Alert. So now the internet is swirling with theories, and to be honest, some of these are making a bit too much sense. Theory number one is that the baby never existed in the first place. Have we ever seen this child? Chrissy Lampkin never uploaded a single image, Jim Jones never shared anything, and suddenly, just like that, the baby is gone. Some people think this was one huge PR stunt gone wrong. Like, what if Chrissy Lampkin faked the pregnancy to keep Jim Jones locked in, and now that the truth is coming out, they're attempting to discreetly clean up the mess? And honestly, it wouldn't be the first time celebrity pulled anything like this. Theory number two, Mama Jones pulled some strings. As you already know, she's been trying to remove Chrissy Lampkin out of the picture for years. And with all the shady moves she's pulled in the past, would it be that strange if she somehow engineered this disappearance? Theory number three, something much darker happened. Now, I don't even want to mention this one out loud, but what if something happened to the baby and they're covering it up? I mean, the lack of police participation is suspicious. The way Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin are acting is bizarre. And I don't want to leap to conclusions, but what do you guys think occurred here? Something doesn't match up. And believe me, This Teleus, far from finished because we're about to break down all the strange facts in part 2. And let me tell you, it's going to get even weirder. Alright, y'all. If you thought the first portion was strange, wait till you hear what comes next, because the more we look into this unexplained infant disappearance, the shadier it gets. Now, let's take up where we left off with Jim Jones out here blaming the haters and Chrissy, radio silence, and tell me why nobody in their inner circle is talking about this either. Breaks out, you'll have someone leaking information. Whether it's a close source or a buddy of a friend, but this is nothing but utter quiet. Because let's be honest, if your baby goes missing, you're calling the cops, right? You're creating a huge scene, getting the news involved, and screaming from the rooftops. But they're not, which suggests one of two things. They already know where the baby is, was never real to begin with, and if number 2 is accurate, it means we've been played. Now, let's talk about this purported pregnancy for a second. Because I don't know about you, but something has been feeling weird since day one. No prenatal picture shoots, because y'all know Chrissy Lampkin loves to flaunt when she's feeling herself. No baby shower. Even a modest personal one. No pregnancy glow. Bump updates, nada. And don't even get me started on Jim Jones, because this dude was strolling around pretending like nothing was happening the entire time. Chrissy Lampkin was allegedly pregnant. Like, bro, your first kid is on the way, and you don't even seem enthusiastic. Remember when Cardi B was pregnant? Rihanna and Beyoncé had complete marketing campaigns for their infants. But Chrissy Lampkin's silence, and here's where things get more bizarre, because reportedly, a medical worker who clearly wanted to remain anonymous came forward and stated that Chrissy Lampkin was spotted at a private facility several times but not for prenatal care. Now wait on. Why would she be in a private medical facility while claiming to be pregnant if it wasn't for checkups? What if she was never pregnant at all? And as if things couldn't get sketchier, one of Chrissy's old acquaintances came out and basically confirmed what we were all thinking. She straight up revealed Chrissy Lampkin and Jim had always been strategic about their business actions if she decided to pull anything like this. Trust me, she'd make it appear real. Excuse me, are you telling me this whole thing was a planned PR stunt for what? So let's shift gears for a second, because if this baby was real, there's one person who's looking very suspect right now, and that's Mama Jones. Since we know she's against this pregnancy from day one, she didn't hold back at all, and she was even out here doubting if the kid was actually Jim's. But here's where things go really weird. Starting to suspect that Mama Jones could have truly taken matters into her own hands. And I know it seems excessive, but just hear me out. First of all, Mama Jones is not above being messy. We've actually seen her cross the line over and over again when it comes to Jim Jones and Chrissy's relationship. Second, she was one of the last individuals spotted with the infant before the disappearance. And third, explain me why a neighbor reported seeing her leaving Chrissy and Jim's house in the middle of the night with a blanket-covered bundle in her arms. Was in that bundle? Obviously we can't prove anything. But let's simply pose the question. If Mama Jones stole the baby, where did she take it? And why is nobody addressing this? And speaking about strange behavior, we need to speak about Jim Jones himself, because something about his vibe isn't sitting right. Like, why is he so casual about this whole affair? Why is he writing articles about Thea Hoddard instead of really accomplishing something? And let's not forget, Jim Jones has recently been under fire for some dubious financial activities. What if this baby scandal is merely a diversion from anything greater? Because explain me why just last week there were speculations that Jim Jones is suffering major financial troubles. Some sources even stated that he was in discussions to sell off some of his holdings, settle his obligations. So could it be that this entire pregnancy scenario is simply a smokescreen for something else? You already know the internet is going crazy over this whole affair, is on fire with hypotheses. And let me tell you, some of them are insane. One user wrote, Jim and Chrissy's kid is missing, but there was never a baby to begin with. Therefore the arithmetic doesn't work. Another tweeted, Mama Jones obviously took that baby. We need an FBI level inquiry now. And then someone truly took it there. What if Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin staged this baby to elicit sympathy, and now they don't know how to conclude the plot? And listen, I know that last one seems weird, but at this point, is anything really off the table? Since, let's be honest, Hollywood celebs love to fabricate controversy when benefits them. And if they actually believe this PR stunt would improve their relevance, what if it completely backfired? At this point, we need answers. Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin need to come out and tell us, was this baby even real? If so, where is it now? Why is there no missing persons report? Why is no one in their circle speaking out? the longer time goes, the shadier this gets. And believe me, this tale is far from done. Because in part 3, we're about to take an even deeper dive into the cover-ups, bogus stories, and hidden reasons behind this horrific scenario, and let me just warn you, right now, that it's going to become even darker. Listen, if you thought part 2 was wild, just wait, because we're about to go even deeper, because at this point, it's not even about whether the kid was genuine or not. It's about how far Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin are prepared to go to hide the truth. And let me tell you, the more we explore, the wilder the tale becomes. So let's take up where we left off. Jim Jones is out here acting like he's too cool to care. Chrissy Lampkin is virtually in hiding, and Mama Jones is wandering about like she doesn't know nothing. But tell me why, just as we started asking too many questions, fresh proof suddenly popped up. Y'all, out of nowhere, an anonymous tipster came forward and claimed they have proof that the kid was abducted by a close family member. But guess what? That proof happened to be some grainy, low-quality surveillance film showing a dark person walking away from Jim and Chrissy's house in the middle of the night. Excuse me, you think we're expected to believe this as evidence? Where's the clear footage? Where's the police investigation? Oh wait, there is no police inquiry because no one reported the infant missing. What is going on here? Think about it for a second. If your child goes missing, what's the first thing you do? You phone the police, you inform the media, you go into full panic mode. But Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin are chilling, sending cryptic Instagram messages. They're pretending everything is okay. It's almost like they don't want the police involved. And why would that be? Perhaps because if the cops truly started investigating, they'd learn there was never a baby in the first place. And listen, I'm not the only one dealing with this whole issue, because explain me why a reporter tried to press Jim Jones for answers at an event last night, and his response was dubious to say the least. Instead of addressing the question, he smiled and said, "People enjoy making up tales. Y'all need to mind your business." Okay, so now we need to mind our business. But when you wanted attention for this mysterious baby plot, it was everybody's business. Now, let's speak about Mama Jones again, because I don't know about you, but she's looking more guilty by the second, since after her odd late-night leave from Jim Jones and Chrissy's residence, guess what? She went completely off the grid. No social media posts, no public appearances, no remarks, y'all. This is a lady who lives for drama. So why is she suddenly so quiet? Could it be because she knows something we don't? And let me tell you, things got more odd when someone saw her at a secluded spot in New Jersey where she was observed meeting up with an unknown man, and get this, the guy she was talking to used to work as a private investigator. Hello, what in the cover up is going on here? Because if you ask me, this is giving full on, we need to bury the scandal before it gets worse energy. But guess what? It's too late, since the streets are discussing, the internet is talking, and people are already demanding answers. This is where things take a darker turn, because, explain me why, a fresh anonymous source just come forward, saying that Chrissy Lampkin had been working with a surrogate the entire time. You mean to tell me this whole pregnancy was phony from the start? If this is true, it explains a lot. Explains why there were no pregnancy images, why there was no baby bulge, and why Chrissy Lampkin has been so secretive this whole time. But wait, it gets worse, because according to one source, the surrogate was not paid the whole amount she was promised, so she supposedly brought the kid back. If this is true, Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin never actually lost the baby, they simply got outplayed. And honestly, if that's the case, excellent for her, because if they truly believed they could play games with this woman's time and money, whatever happens next. But here's the point, if this surrogate is genuine, where is her now? Because just as people started digging into her, guess what happened? She went missing as well, y'all. I'm not even no social media presence, no interviews, no remarks. It's almost as if someone made sure she went before she could speak. And if that doesn't send chills down your spine, I'm not sure what will happen, because at this point we're not just dealing with a missing infant, we could be dealing with a full-fledged Hollywood cover-up. And let me just remind you everyone that this isn't the first Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin have been caught up in some shady business. Jim Jones has been tied to all kinds of financial controversies. And don't forget how Chris miraculously came into money out of a few years ago. They could not have imagined that faking a kid would be their biggest money move, nor could they have planned to get a reality TV deal or sell exclusive rights to the first newborn images. But when things didn't go as planned, they had to withdraw out before the truth was exposed. At this point, anything is conceivable because the entire situation went from a lost infant to a full-blown Hollywood conspiracy. And, believe me, this is not the last we'll hear about it. Because if there's one thing I know about Hollywood drama, it's that the truth always comes out, and when it does, Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin's best be ready to face the consequences. Before we conclude this up, I need you to tell me in the comments what you believe truly occurred. Was there ever a kid to begin with? Did Mama Jones do some clever maneuvers, or is this one of the largest PR frauds of all time? Whatever the case may be, y'all know I'm keeping an eye on this issue. So if you want to remain up to current on this insane scenario, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe because believe me, we are not done with this one yet. Until next time, keep your eyes open because in Hollywood is never what it appears. And that's the end of this wild narrative, but listen, this scenario is far from finished. And you already know more drama is likely to emerge. So if you want to remain ahead of the mess, make sure you press that like button, leave a comment below, and subscribe for all the latest developments. Do you believe Jim Jones and Chrissy were lie about the baby? Or is this simply if there is another Hollywood cover-up? Please let me know. Please share your ideas in the comments, as I need to hear what you think. And don't forget to enable post notifications. You never miss the next wild. Believe me, this isn't the story. The final twist we're going to witness. Stay trapped and keep awake, and I'll catch you in the next one.